Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper & Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you guys. But before we start, as always, if you find these videos helpful or interesting, could you give me a like and consider subscribing to this channel? Okay guys, what we have today is a Stanley USA 88-001, and it has the letters F4 after that. And this is a 1/4" ratchet. Here's the handle. The handle is a knurled handle. And you can see this is kind of a small box head ratchet. What's interesting is that Stanley bought or took over MAC tools like in the early 80s, and this here is a copy of the MAC MR5 ratchet. So this is just a rebranded Stanley, rebranded MAC MR5. Okay, and this ratchet measures like 4 3/4. Okay, let's open this up, see what's inside. Has this small screw here that attaches the switch lever. It's a small slotted screw. Here's the switch, and you see there's like a line protruding on the switch, and there's an indented line in the pawl. So the switch rides in that channel to be able to engage the pawl. Here's the screw. It's a small screw, small machine screw with a slotted head, and the plate is held by 2 other small slotted screws. Okay, this is what the screws look like. Oops. They might be the same size as the yep, I think they're the same size as the switch screw. Okay, and they don't go all the way through the body, so they attach to the head, I mean the body itself. So not too sure if I really like that, because too much torque on those tiny screws. Either you strip out the head or you strip out the screw, which is not good, because once the head is stripped out, those threads, it's pretty much not usable anymore. I don't know how, you probably get a tiny tap in there to re-tap those holes, but I doubt it. Okay, this is pretty tight, so I'm gonna just take a little punch and punch out the pawl. Okay. When you take this out, be careful, because the pawl has a spring and a ball underneath it, and if you just pull it out, they're liable to jump out. Okay, here's the plate. It's pretty thick for a little plate. It's pretty tiny. You can see there's a little pitting here from some rust that was on this ratchet. And here is the gear. The gear, it's 30 teeth, which is kind of uncommon. I usually don't see gears with 30 teeth. It's usually like 36 or 20 or something like that. So 30 is a little bit odd. These are the teeth. Some of the teeth look like they've been given a little bit too much torque, but not too bad overall. Here's the ball detent. Looks pretty well centered. And this ratchet's had a little pitting on it. Looks like there's been some rusting on it. Okay, and here is the pawl. Like I said, when you take it out, be careful. There's a ball underneath. And there's the ball. And underneath the ball, there's a little spring. There's the little spring. Here's the pawl. It's like a typical bat wing pawl. Has 2 teeth per side. This is what it looks like. Interesting, in these parts, I see these 3 dots. I don't know if that's part of MAC, if that's part of some sort of parts, I don't know, marking or something. But I also see those 3 dots in the head here. I think there's 4 dots here. You see on the edge of where the switch should be, there's like 4 dots there. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But here's the pawl. So underneath, this is the side where the switch screws into. You see the channel there for the protrusion on the switch. Here's the inside of the mechanism. Like I said, there's you can see some pitting here on the side. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, looks like it was drilled out pretty decent. Okay, now to put this back together, you take your spring and you drop that in the hole. There, like that. And you take your ball, you drop that in the hole over the spring. Now you take your pawl and oops, get that. You take your paw and you press down on the ball like that, and you switch it around. And hold down the paw here because that ball wants to get out. You see it? So hold down the paw there and switch it over. Whoops, stupid me. I put it on backwards. Alright, do it again. The slotted the slotted portion goes towards the back and the flat portion goes towards the front. Okay. Alright, it should look like that. and it should look like that. Now you take your switch, hold down the pole on the other side, you put your switch, that little slotted protrusion, you put it in that channel like that, and you take your screw and you put it in the hole. Now you screw your switch down. Not too much torque, because remember, these are tiny screws, and it should be switching. You take your gear, put that on top like that. Here's what it looks like when it's ratcheting. And you take your plate and make sure you put it this side up, where you see there's like the lip here cut out for the screws, and you put that on there and mash it down like that. This one's a little bit tight, so I just give it a little tap with the plastic end of the hammer, and take your screws and screw them in. Remember, on this is finger tight only, because of what I told you before. These screws go directly into the head, and you want to avoid those problems of stripping out either the screws or the threads in the head. So finger tight only. If you need it more tight, I would suggest probably a drop of blue Loctite or something in there. Okay, now you test it out, see if it's switching. Yep, it's switching. Okay, that's my teardown of the Stanley USA 88-001, which is a copy or made by MAC. This is the MAC MR5. Okay guys, till next time.